My friends, in the previous part you got acquainted with the main environment of Excel. From this part onwards, you will come across important and practical tips and I'm going to teach them to you. So, let's get started together. To enter numbers in a column, we can enter a number, then by grabbing the lower right corner and dragging it, create that number in the row or columns we want. But if we want to have serial numbers, we must press the Control key and then drag it with the down arrow and create serial numbers. Now, we may want to create a column that starts with the number 1 and continues until the number 1000. If we want to use the Control plus down arrow method, it may take a long time. For this, we first enter the number 1 after the Home tab and from the Editing section and the File option, we select the down arrow. Then we open its drawer and then we select the Series option. In the open window, it asks us whether we want to create the series in the row or column, which we choose according to our needs. For example, we choose column. In this part, the step value asks us how many of this series we want to create, which we put on one by one. Then, the stop value option asks us where to stop and how long the numbers should continue. When we enter 1000, now we click OK, and you will see that from 1 to 1000 was created for us. I told you this point in the introduction, but I will mention it again here. If we want to go to the last cell whose number is, for example, 1000, we can use Control and down arrow. And to return to cell number 1, we use Control and up arrow. But there is another way to serialize numbers, and I would like to tell you this method as an honor. If, for example, you enter the number 1 and select this cell together with the cell next to it and drag the bottom left corner down, you will see that it will show you the numbers in series. You cannot use your Control key. Many people may not know this trick. Look, for example, we have columns in a sheet that contain numbers and a text. But we want these numbers to be separated from the text and displayed in other columns or rows. For this, we type the desired number in the last text that is connected to the table. Then we hit Enter. Here it's enough to press the Control key plus E, and you will see all the numbers that are in this column will be shown to you individually. And this is one of Excel's features that imitates, and if you give it a pattern, it will easily use that pattern. This tool has great uses. In another example, we have a column that contains the date and shows the day, month, and year. Now we want to have day, month, and year in separate columns. For this, we first create the columns. Then, for example, in the day column, we enter this day. Just press Ctrl and E, and you will see all the days displayed separately in this column. Now there is a point here. If we have 0 first, to give it a pattern, we must put it in quotations. In this way, we enter the quotation first, then we type the number, and then we press Enter, and then we press Ctrl and E. We do this for the month and year columns in the same way. To do this, you can enter a comment on the cell you want. Right-click and select the Insert Comment option. You will see that an environment will open where you can enter your description. And whenever you click on that cell, that comment will be shown to you. If you want to delete the comment, right-click on that cell again and select the Delete Comment option and delete the comment. This red mark also indicates that there is a comment on that column. My friends, this part is one of the most important and practical tips. Please listen carefully to this part. See, for example, we want to quickly enter information for an area in Excel. Just select the area. Let's type a text and use Ctrl and Enter instead of Enter. And you will see that this text will spread in the entire area that we selected. Note that once you select the area, you should not select it again to type in the cell. Just select the area and then type, and the cell will be selected automatically. Then press Ctrl and Enter, and that's it. Now you may be wondering where this applies. If, for example, in this worksheet, we want to add these items in the lower cells and repeat and copy it. If we want to type them all, it will be very time consuming. For this, we select the subgroups and use the Control key to select all subgroups. Now type equals and select a cell. Then press Ctrl and Enter. Now you will see all its relevant subgroups entered. But a very significant point here. Many people cannot use the Control key for any reason. To select the cells or the number of columns to be selected may be too many, and selecting all of them takes time and the probability of error is too high. For this, we select the entire area. After the Home tab and the Editing section, select the Find and Select option, and select the Go to Special option. From the window that opens, select Blanks in the Select option and click OK. Now you will see all the empty cells are selected for you. In other words, it does the same thing as Control for you. Now we press equals, select the upper cell and press Enter plus Control, and that's it. Here I want to point out one thing, which is to put an equal in a cell to write a formula or a command, which I will teach later on. For this, we must first define it in our own Excel, because by default these items don't exist in Excel. But if we create and define it once, open any other Excel file in our system, these items will be activated for us automatically. Now we will learn together how to define these items in Excel. This is one of those points that may not be covered in textbooks, so listen to it carefully. First, we enter the File tab. We select Option from the More section. From the opened window, select the Advanced section. And then we start scrolling down. In the General section, select Edit Custom Lists. Create a new list in the opened window. For this, for example, to create a list of days of the week. We type Saturday. We hit enter and enter the next items in the same way. And the point is that we must type the next item with enter. We keep entering and see what's going on. It's really interesting. Actually, it's like a magic. Then we press add, and now you will see that the new list has been added to the left part. And we press OK, and now you will see that when we type Saturday, it will show us all the days of the week by dragging it down, and this is wonderful. The application of this point is in many cases. For example, you may have a bunch of raw materials, customers' names, forces names, or anything else. Just define it once and use it all the time. My friends, let's consider this point. This error occurs when the size of your colon is small, and it only occurs for columns that contain numbers. And this error doesn't appear for the text. Status bar is located in the last part of the Excel bar. When we select an area inside our screen, this part is activated, and it shows us the situation of this area. For example, what is the average? How many is it? What is its maximum and minimum? To customize this section, we can right-click on it and enable or disable the desired options. The status bar is basically a mini dashboard. My friends, very easily we can enter these two signs in Excel. For this, it's enough to type the capital letter P to show the tick mark and the capital letter O to show the cross. Now we select the area where you entered the letters. From the Home tab, in the Font section, we select the Windings to font. Now you can see that a tick and a cross are displayed. Now we may forget these letters. Another way to insert ticks and crosses is to use the Insert tab and select the symbol option. Now in this section we select the Windings to font and select the cross or tick from the available options and press Insert. Now we see that these signs are shown. When we click on their cells, the corresponding letter will be displayed in the formula bar. And this way we can remember these letters. Suppose in this area we want the cells with a tick mark to be displayed in green and the cells with a cross mark to be displayed in red. For this, just select the desired area, then from the Home tab select the option. We choose conditional formatting. I'm referring to a general topic here, but this topic is related to Advanced Excel and I will teach you about it in Advanced Excel. Conditional is used for conditional formats. Now select Equal to option from Highlight Cells Rules option. Enter the capital letter P in the opened window. And in the width part, we choose the color we want. We chose green. And then click OK. Now in the same area that we have selected, from the same conditional formatting option and highlight cells rules option and equal to, we enter the capital letter O, and in the width section we select red color and click OK. And now you will see that the cells with a tick mark are displayed in green and cells with a cross mark are displayed in red. Now on this page, wherever you enter the tick mark, its color will automatically turn green, and if you enter the cross mark, its color will turn red. You've seen in every Excel file that the cell color changes automatically. Know that conditional formatting settings have been applied too. There are many details in this part that will be fully discussed in Advanced Excel. My friends, see for example we have a cell with a series of features. Cell with a font, size, and color we want. Now we want our next cell to have the same features. To do this, we click on the cell with a feature, and from the Home tab, we click on the brush that is here. Now this option will be activated for us, and we can click it any cell we want and apply the properties of that cell to it, which will be applied only once. But when we click twice on the brush, we can click several times and apply the format in different cells. If you want to exit this mode, just click on the pen itself, or press the space key on your keyboard. My friends, this section is one of the very important tips that are very practical. Please listen to it carefully. See, we have a series of cells in this sheet. If we click on the triangle next to it, it will show all the available options. But this is not a filter. The filter is usually applied in the upper part of the headers. Now, how to create a drop-down list? Before we create this drop-down list, what is the need to create it at all? My friends, if you have a specific list with a lot of data, you should definitely use data validation to avoid entering incorrect information. Because people may enter the same data in different formats and wrong information is entered into the database, and this causes problems in your reporting. Because there is a series of similar data and you will have to go back and correct this data. So, the reason for creating these drop-down lists is to prevent the entry of wrong information and create restrictions in the cell. Now, to create these drop-down lists, we need to enter the contents of the list in a sheet, which are the options of our drop-down list. Now, in another sheet, we click on the cell where we want to create a drop-down list. Then we select the Data Validation option from the Data tab, which is the same as Data Validation. From the opened window, select the List option in the Settings section and Allow section. Then in the Source section, we select the contents of the list we entered and click on OK. And now you'll see a drop-down list has been created and we can select any of the options we want. The good thing is that we are not allowed to enter wrong information in this list, and this is wonderful. Another point here is that in the same data validation option in the Input Message tab, you can enter information that represents the contents of that drop-down list. For example, in this section, we enter the salary. Now we see that when we go to that cell, it shows us the information we entered in the input message as a cover. So, whenever you see any file that has an input message, it will show you. Know that data validation is used. Now, if we want to customize the error message, enter the desired message from the data validation section of the error alert tab in the error message section and click OK. Now, if we enter a wrong data in this section, this message will be displayed. Another point in this section is that after creating the drop-down list, you can hide the sheet that contains the contents of the list so that no one can change it. And the last point, if the information of the drop-down list couldn't be read, the problem is due to the small zoom of the screen and the large size. So you have to increase the screen zoom and decrease the size. So, in designing your table, pay attention to the fact that the page zoom must be set to 85, 100, 110, and the font size should be small, B13, 12.